Good evening, Marshall Reddick investors. Thank you for joining us tonight. Tonight's webinar is on the Nashville, Tennessee market, and this is one of our most popular topics because it's one of our most popular markets, and it's growing like wildfire. So I'm glad you're here with us tonight. We have a lot of information, and you're going to learn a lot. Before I bring on our area experts, I wanted to give you a little bit of information about myself. I've been with Marshall Reddick for 4 years now, but I've actually been a licensed realtor, buying and selling real estate for over 20 years. I also have 7 years of experience in real estate finance, and I have done dozens of fix and flip properties and owned investment properties encompassing 3 states. So needless to say, I live, sleep, eat, and breathe real estate. It's definitely my passion. Love helping people, love working with people, and just love real estate in general. And I also wanted to give you a little bit of background about Marshall Reddick Real Estate. We were founded in 1979, and the program and the company was built on one premise. We wanted to be a one-stop shop for in-house real estate, investing, anything to do with real estate. We help you with everything. We have in-house lending, in-house property management, we have insurance, CPAs, attorneys, 1031 accommodators. So we keep everything under our Marshall Reddick umbrella. It makes it much easier for investors. We have all the go-to people for you. We also have 4 different divisions, including our newest offering, which is the fund, which we can talk about later. But the first division is real estate brokerage. Just like any traditional real estate brokerage, we have people buy and sell homes as well as buying and selling investment property. The second division, which I think is probably one of the most important components for investors, is property management. A lot of our clients love to invest in property, but don't want to do all the necessary tasks it takes to be a landlord. We take care of everything from leasing, maintenance, renovations, rent collections, everything that goes along with being a landlord. Our property management takes care of for you. Our third division is private lending. Within the private lending sector, we have 2 clients. We have the borrower and the lender. You can be either. Well, with the borrower, you're borrowing non-recourse, non-owner occupied loans for fix and flips, spec builds, and investment properties. As a lender, you're a client, maybe you don't want to own investment property, but you want to invest in real estate. The same way a landlord owns real estate, you can own mortgage-backed securities and collect checks without actually owning the property. And our last offering is the Marshall Reddick Mortgage Fund, which is a pool of investors who invest in multiple properties on an ongoing basis. The fund is one of our newest offerings, and I would love to chat with each and every one of you if you're interested one-on-one on that as well. And I wanted to go a little bit over our markets. We have teams in 16 major metropolitan markets across the U.S. We do have boots on the ground in the areas you see within the green boxes. Those are the top markets for investors. And how do we choose those markets? Well, there's a number of things. We look at the job markets. We look at the vacancy rate. We need rental demand. We don't want properties to sit vacant. We look at the jobs and the diversity. Housing affordability, cash flow for the tenant and for the investor. Is this landlord friendly, which I think should be number 1 on the list. There's a lot of states, California included, I'm from California, which are not landlord friendly states at all. And I think number 7 should also be at the top of the list. We talked about this, we touched on it a little before, reliable property management. That is key to any successful investment property. You need to have someone boots on the ground watching your investment for you. Having said a little bit about that, let's talk about Tennessee, and I want to bring on our area experts, Chris Childs and Logan Rhea. I've done dozens of transactions with them. They are my go-tos. I love working with them as an advisor. Would love to bring them on and have them teach you about the Tennessee market and what it has to offer.
Awesome. Thanks, Cherry. Really happy to be on the call tonight and definitely love all the things that we have going on. It's really, like you said, a one-stop shop here at Marshall Reddick. So looking forward to talking more about the Nashville area this evening.
Yep, same everyone. Welcome. My name's Logan, and yeah, looking forward to connecting with you guys. So what we have here is basically our Tennessee team. We actually just won, voted best real estate company in 2022, huge award. And this office is actually located up in just north of Nashville in Clarksville, where we have over 100 properties that we manage. And so that's where our headquarters is as far as Tennessee. Um, and Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I don't mean to correct you there, but it's actually I know it's crazy. The numbers have gotten, we're over 300 homes now under management if we include the Nashville market and everywhere in between. So it's just exploding, like you said, man. Really, really a great time to be in the market here. A little about myself, though. I am a licensed realtor in Tennessee. Been a realtor for over 7 years now. Sold over 200 homes around the area. Um, One of the things that I really try to specialize in for my clients is sourcing properties from, all options, not just looking for properties on the MLS. A lot of people can do that on their own, but talking to my network, looking for off-market deals as well. And then right now, as we'll talk about a little bit later in the presentation, we've been able to negotiate some of the best deals that I've seen in years, kind of with the market shift that we've seen. Now, we haven't seen any sort of crash, which we'll also look at some numbers here, but we are seeing more negotiating power for buyers and that means better deals for our investors. And I'm also a rental property owner myself, so that is how I approach all of my clients. And with that on-hand experience, definitely making sure that we are looking at the best properties for you. This is my family. We just had our third son born in December of last year. He's about to be 1, which is really hard to believe. This is showing where we live. So we live in just South Clarksville now, and we have our rental property in Pleasant View, which is it's a small town, but really popular for being able to jump right on the interstate. So that's our rental property there. And you can see Nashville just a little more southeast of those properties. Logan?
Awesome. Yep. Thank you, Chris. So, hi, everyone. Once again, I'm Logan, and I've been in real estate the past 3.5 years. Lived in Nashville over 12 years, went to MTSU, and really have grown a very large network of just connections and people in the industry. Worked with a lot of different developers. Really, I like specializing in some of the new builds, specifically last year with some of the crazy market and seeing clients gain appreciation and equity really quickly through just being able to buy and hold property. So I also really like working with guys on creative loan strategies. I actually got a construction loan and was able to get into a property and just sold it for over 100,000 just about 12 months or 11 or 12 months later. So I am an investor as well, investor minded, and love working with guys to think about coming up with creative solutions to complex problems. So yeah, that's a little bit about me and my background. I actually got married in January, coming up on a year now. This is my beautiful bride, my wife Britt, and we have 2 Australian shepherds. We actually live right near the airport in Donaldson, which is kind of right here. And that's our house, but it's got a 3-car garage back there. We just hosted a big Friendsgiving event there. But love community, love this city, and yeah, that's a little bit about my background. So, like Chris was mentioning, this is kind of where Clarksville is, and this is where Nashville is. Just taking I-24 up there is where our main Tennessee offices.
Exactly. Yeah. So our office is based there in Clarksville, and as Cherry said at the very beginning, we are a one-stop shop. So I'm on our sales team. Logan and I, we are the sales team here. But we also work right in the same office with our property management team and our maintenance team. So we have everything together. We are able to, just have a more seamless experience for our clients and great synergy and networking amongst us here in the office. But just wanted to give you a snapshot with this picture to kind of show you where we are. We're right in the center of Tennessee, if you're not too familiar with the area, Nashville being the capital and really the big business hub and driver for the overall economy around Nashville. Anything else? Sorry, Logan, I didn't know if you wanted to add anything else on
Yeah,
that. Or...
nothing much really. I mean, as you guys are about to see, Nashville is a very popular place. Lots of people moving here, and it's basically about a 4 to 6 hour radius of like 15 to 20 major cities, including like Chicago. So it's like kind of a hub of the South. So right now we're looking at some current market data with specifically Clarksville. Chris, did you want to highlight anything specific on here? I know that's a lot of numbers.
Yeah, I'll go over a couple things here. I only want to bring Clarksville up briefly since that is where we are based out of. It's also the next emergent market. We've done other presentations though on the Clarksville specific market, so I'm not going to go too much into detail on that today. I do want to just kind of compare it to Nashville though. So if we look at the median sales price for Clarksville, this is single family homes, average 3-bed, 2-bath. Right at 300,000. You can see though from the two graphs below that, the months of supply of homes available for sale in Clarksville have stayed under around 2.5 months or less. So we have not seen a huge surge of inventory. And the graph on the far right that shows the median sale price for Clarksville, while we did see a significant dip this year, that occurred obviously due to interest rates going up. We have not even gotten back to 2021 levels. So not seeing any sort of major crash in the Clarksville market.
Yep. Now, comparatively, median sales price, this is actually a little skewed because of the condos that are downtown. If you're looking more so at the average house for a 3.2, 1,500 square foot house, it's closer to 450, which you'll see later. But one major thing to note here, just to let you guys know, this is where we're shifting in case anyone is interested. It's gone down 2%, basically showing compared to a year ago, all the houses that were listed were sold over what they were listed for. Now, a lot of them are going under. So kind of whenever you guys start talking with Chris and I and Sherry about investing in Nashville after this, one of the strategies will be, hey, maybe we need to put in a couple offers that are lower than the sales price and get these motivated sellers with maybe a little too much inventory, and we can negotiate a really good deal. So we have already seen a bunch of deals coming this way, and interest rates are fluctuating, but we know real estate's a long-term investment. So that's kind of the main thing I wanted to notice on there, just as well as, the dip. And then as we see, it's kind of going back to more of a stable market. We can't call it a balanced market until we have 6 months. And right now we're only on 3. But yeah, that's some of the major data on this slide.
Yep. So nowhere around Tennessee are we seeing any kind of crash. And I think that's the biggest question, or, when I talk with investors like that are expecting there to be a huge crash, I'm just not seeing it because of this supply. I mean, we just aren't getting a flood of new inventory. And with people locked in on average at low interest rates, sub 5% on average, they don't really have a motivation to sell. So I again don't expect to see a big flood of inventory there.
So median age is 34. Nashville's a very young city. A lot of young professionals come here and stay here, and 70,000 is the median income, with a population of over 2 million. That we're actually projected another million to move here, according to a recent study by 2040. So it's basically like 136 people a day. 65 Californians or refugees, as we call them, came here last year. So lots of good areas, lots of growth that we're seeing here in Nashville. And one of the reasons is because of job growth and because of low taxes and no income tax for personal. And yeah, so that, and then just the price range, like 450 out here compared to some of these other major cities. Unemployment rate is really low. So really just the main takeaway is the economic growth with the jobs coming here, as well as the population growth, is why Nashville is like the fourth hottest real estate market right now.
Definitely, man. I see it all the time. Yeah, just a few more key facts about Nashville. Again, values have been increasing quite dramatically over the past several years. We saw 20% plus gains on some properties. So a lot of that definitely is coming to an end. I highly doubt we're going to see any kind of gains like that over the coming couple of years, probably, but I still do expect, and from other real estate local experts that we network with, we're still expecting there to be a positive growth in home values over the coming years. Rents around the area have also continued to increase. We've seen, even upwards of 25% over the past 3 years. Now, one point to mention on that is we might see prices and rents slightly decrease next year. But again, as Logan mentioned, like this is a long-term game. So we're not only looking to get rich on a couple $100 of cash flow a month. We're also looking at the bigger picture and the growth that is coming to Nashville, which we'll talk more about here shortly.
Nice. So a couple things here. Once again, ranked number 2 for the fastest selling homes, second hottest job market in the country, number 1 for the metro economic strength, and then we are 6th for the most stable real estate market in the U.S. As things seem like they might be headed into a recession, cities with a strong economic growth won't be affected as much as compared to somewhere like maybe like say St. Louis, or that's smaller, where there's not a lot of people moving and there's not a lot of jobs. Once again, a couple reasons why: no personal income tax, low cost of living, and I want to say too, just the vibrancy of the city. It's entertainment city, really. Like you could listen to a different band and go to a different show every single day of the year, and probably for 2 years in a row, and not see the same artist. A lot of musicians, a lot of nurses, a lot of healthcare, a lot of entrepreneurs, and very, very vibrant, very thriving in that sense. Very creative city.
Did we lose it?
Oh, not sure what happened there. Back to the presentation. Welcome to the human race. Well, apologies for technical difficulties, y'all. But let's see if we can pull this back up again.
Here we go. We'll get back to it. Gotta love technology. We did it. Logan, you want to touch briefly on the sports teams we've got here in town?
Yeah, totally. So we have the Tennessee Titans, famous Derrick Henry, stiff arming everyone, and our Nashville Predators, that is our hockey team. And then we have a minor league baseball team, the Nashville Sound, and then our soccer team. Kind of cool. Our soccer stadium is actually the biggest soccer stadium in North America. That's purely just a soccer stadium. It's got over 30,000 seats, and was built just around $335 million. But its location is actually kind of near South Nashville, which is one of the areas we're going to be looking at. So, and then speaking of stadiums, they're actually projecting this by 2026 for the Titans' new stadium. So this is really cool. It's going to be it's actually going to be a multi-use facility that they'll have lots of restaurants, lots of ability to hang out and do different events. They want to do a lot of community-minded purpose, and nonprofit events for educational purposes, as well as the whole thing will be like a dome that will have weatherproofed translucent roof, and then once again these panoramic views of the city. So this is just was announced recently. Now obviously it's a couple years off, but the cool thing is this is going to bring a lot more already to the infamous entertainment city of Nashville. It's going to bring even more potential hopes of a Super Bowl hosting and a lot of live concerts. So a lot of cool things headed in the future.
Tons of employers. Again, we can't say enough that the draw of many people to move to Nashville from other places is a lot of, tax benefits, landlord friendly, all of that, but also just the many number of jobs that are offered here. So not just music industry anymore, or entertainment even. We have huge medical facilities here now through Vanderbilt, St. Thomas, some other local hospitals as well. And other companies like Amazon have built major hubs here in the area. And yeah, there's
Yeah,
a lot of
a lot of headquarters. I would say, like, if you're looking at somewhere like Alliance Bernstein, this financial firm, typically they move to Chicago or LA from New York, but instead this big company's coming to Nashville, which just gives us a little bit insider information, and they know where this is headed. When there's a lot of corporate headquarters, including like Bridgestone, Dollar General, HCA, and Ryman Hospitality Properties. It just creates a lot more job growth, which creates a lot more demand for renters. So once again, very, very much thriving in our economic sense.
And don't forget Oracle, which I'm sure a lot of people have heard of. Oracle Technology. They are putting their headquarters right in downtown Nashville, bringing up to 8,000 high level jobs right here into the city as well. And that campus is going to be huge.
Yep, that's actually supposed to be done by late 2023. So we'll see how that turns out here in the next year.
Oh, sorry, go back.
So a couple things education wise, there's ranked in the top 20 of national universities, Vanderbilt, helping the SEC with their GPAs and all that. We also have several other colleges, over 20 in fact, in the area, including private and colleges and universities. Several of them are very good with putting out nurses, like Lipscomb and Belmont specifically, and then obviously Vanderbilt University. I went to Middle Tennessee, that's in Murfreesboro, South Nashville. So lots of, once again, young people that are here that you typically stay or have their friends come and visit, which is once again good for renting if you want like a guaranteed college student in the city. And then this is just a little bit what I was talking about earlier about River North Nashville. These are kind of three major developments happening. Just a quick overview. There's going to have river taxis that will take you. This is kind of along the north side of Nashville, and it's kind of like the next Broadway, the next downtown. It's pretty cool. It's going to look almost have like a Miami feel to it, with just these awesome cities and buildings and skyscrapers kind of right on the river. They're going to have a lot of river ports as well. And one of the things I was going to note here is this area is going to connect this 14-acre site in Germantown that will connect the north, south, and west and create public access to the river. So a lot of development happening, a lot of big players. Oracle is going to bring, like Chris was mentioning, over 8,500 jobs. And specifically this phase will be bringing a lot of multifamily units. So it might be something to be interested in as far as investing. But I would recommend looking into these areas just because we know how much development is going to be happening the next 2 to 6 years to 10 plus years here in these specifically this is like the North Nashville location. So kind of cool, a lot of development happening. And we're looking at Hermitage is one of the areas specifically I wanted to highlight. So this is Chris and I's top 4 areas for investing. We are really seeing a lot of growth in this area. So once again, I live right near the airport in Donaldson. Hermitage is right in between these 2 major bodies of water that we have. That's great for outdoors. There's still a lot of land. This is also an awesome area that's really affordable at $430 with a lot of safe neighborhoods, but a lot of schools, great schools, and it's also kind of close to Mount Juliet, which also has a lot of amazing schools, but also you're still not too far from downtown. So young professionals a lot of times live out here, or people just starting their family. And yeah, this is like one of my personal favorite areas. We'll be looking at a duplex out here later that's already cash flowing pretty good. Couple stats just real quick. We're seeing how the average house is around 413. This is based off of current properties. There's 51 available right now that are around that 3-2 bedrooms, 3 baths, and 1,500 square feet. And once again, most of these prices are going for a little bit under what they're actually listed for. So as you can see, the market that we're in is 97 have sold in the past 3 months. That's what this is based off of. And a lot of them have been on market for average, anywhere from 30 to 60 days. So just kind of the symptom of what the current economy and, with the market and with the interest rates, but the deals are out there and they're going to keep popping up. And so really excited to see what's going to unfold here in Hermitage. And then lastly, my other property out of the 4 is South Nashville. So this is 3 developments happening as well. It's basically the one thing to note here is the fastest growing area in Nashville, 40% of the growth since 2000 in the top 2 surrounding zip codes. Personally, I've worked with a couple of developers and new builds around here that have seen so much growth, like getting it under contract for 450 and now it's worth 500 just a couple months later. Recently, some of these have slowed down, but there's still a lot of construction and new development happening. And then lastly, there's going to be the Century Farms and Tanger Outlets are huge malls and neighborhood and just development that's happening. That's right off of I-24, which you can kind of see right near the soccer stadium. They just broke ground, and it's right connected to I-24, which leads right down to downtown Nashville. So it's really a very unique area, but it's going to cause a lot of attraction. And we're seeing this whole area just continuously be bumped up with new builds. And there's kind of a picture of Century Farms being developed. So really awesome area I recommend, probably my second favorite area, but also one of the second and hottest growing areas in Nashville.
Definitely, man. Everywhere you look, everywhere you drive around here, there's a new development, it seems like. So tonight I'm going to show you a couple of properties from Madison and also from Pleasant View. But to give you an idea of where Madison is, it's on the northeastern side of Clarksville, actually going past the Hermitage area where Logan was talking about, going more north. From there, you reach Madison. Madison is really just a neighborhood, or a kind of, it's not quite a suburb of its own of Nashville, but it's only about 10 to 15 minutes outside of downtown. And there are tons of great deals there right now. And it's one of the top places around the area that I'll recommend that you take a look at properties. But there's great parks. It does have all the shopping and restaurants that you would need to not have to drive very far. But again, it's a short commute to Nashville from there. As of today, there were 87 properties, single family homes for sale in the general criteria that we search for investment properties, meeting all of those original 7 items that Cherry talked about. But in the past 3 months for Madison, we saw 87 homes close. So really the same, there's almost 3 months of inventory right now in Madison. And as Logan saw on his areas as well, we're seeing prices go down a little bit, not drastically, but I know there will be homes in these areas that we can find some very motivated sellers who will be able to provide concessions. We'll be able to do rate buy downs. I'm going to be able to negotiate a great offer for you in this market that we're in right now. The other area where I showed you, actually, I own my investment property is there, but that's in Pleasant View. So it's about 25 minutes north west of Nashville, going towards Clarksville on that side of I-24, so the opposite side of South Nashville. And the town itself is not huge, but it is the highest net worth town in Cheatham County, which is the county just north of Nashville, which is Davidson County. So in that county, we are very close to the interstate there in Pleasant View. It's got the best schools for ratings in that county. And overall, the community is very family oriented. There's just a lot of community events there, but a really awesome town for what it is. And it's definitely growing. There's some other good developments that are coming in that area too. Stats for Pleasant View, though, just to compare, we have 62 homes available there. In the past 3 months, 43 have sold. And again, we're still seeing that 98% list price to sale price ratio on average. So everywhere you look right now, we're able to probably negotiate on a lot of homes. So that is the Pleasant View market. When you guys wrap up, when we're done with the webinar, I would love for you to go and take a look at our Nashville area data packet. We have that available on our website, and it's going to have some of the data we have here, but actually a lot more to really break down the demographics and all the great aspects of Nashville, and you can download that as a PDF at our website. We're going to take a look at some example properties that are available as of today in our market, but I wanted to go over briefly how we assess those properties, how we rate those properties, and if you haven't already seen our property rating ebook on our website, that's also available and a great resource that I would recommend that you check out to really get a more in-depth understanding of the philosophy that we have here at Marshall Reddick. But overall, you can see the appreciation over the past 30 years or so for Nashville. It stayed pretty flat through the 80s and 90s into the early 2000s. And then where you see this dip is the 2008 market crash. And what you'll quickly realize is we didn't, in that time, what they call the biggest crash that we've seen. We only saw, roughly like an 8 to maybe 10% decline in prices. And then we've quickly bounced back, as you can see, to where we are today with year over year, 20% plus gains in appreciation, which again, are unrealistic to continue, but it just shows you that it is a great market to be in. All right, and now we are going to talk about some specific properties that are available in these various markets. So the first home here, it's actually one I picked out. I found it today in the Madison area. It's a fairly new home. It was built in 2017, 3-bed, 2-bath home, and actually is currently listed for more than this price, which I ran the estimates for. And the reason for that is it's been on the market over a month, and I believe that I'd be able to negotiate the price down to where I have it here around this $385,000 price point. So if we were able to lock that in, and assuming that we also got some seller concessions to help buy down the rate slightly, you would be able to cash flow on this home right now, with 30% down, around $54 a month. Now, while that number doesn't look amazing, this is in a prime area, in a prime neighborhood for growth, where over time, in a year or two, we're going to be able to increase rents. We're going to be able to see that appreciation as the market turns again, which it always does. And you know that you've bought into a neighborhood with a home that's very, very new. So there's going to be low maintenance, and the rent for this area is already very strong at almost $2,300 a month on average. And here's a great example property for Pleasant View. It's similar in numbers, but one thing to note is that it is in a different county, so you do have lower taxes there in Pleasant View, and also still you get a home, not brand new, but built in 2004, a larger property that is almost 2,300 square feet. It's currently listed, again, I wanted to just show you how we're able to negotiate and what that helps with the numbers. It's currently listed at 400,000. I've estimated we could negotiate that down to probably 390. And with a average rent in this neighborhood around 2,300 for this property as well, we're looking at a positive cash flow around $75 a month. And that is after all your expenses. That's after property management and all of the fees with the mortgage and that sort of thing. So still seeing positive cash flow. And again, these are with 30% down. So we can also see that if you're able to put a little more than that down, that will help obviously increase the cash flow as well. Logan?
Awesome. So yeah, thank you, Chris. This is a property that is in Nashville as well, kind of closer to that north area. It's being developed, or sorry, south area that's being developed. So 385 is the price point of this one. We could probably get it even lower than that. Right now, did just an initial repair cost of $5,000. This is built in 2016, so it's more of our identifying it as a luxury class property. 1,700 square feet with closer to 2,300 to 2,400 a month. Like I said, this area is great for families, close to both of those lakes, and there's very low HOA fees. Projected monthly income at 118, cash flow with some of these vacancy maintenance costs at around 8%. So one thing to note here too is the ROI at 12%. Kind of hard to get a 12% return, but welcome to the world of real estate, and specifically in the South Nashville area. So that's a property that I think would be great. The best property that I've seen as of today, and this one has been on market for a little bit over, I believe, 2 weeks, and it's a duplex at 430, and they actually just lowered the price from 449. Once again, trying to get an incentive to get more buyers in there. It is a older home, which is why I did initial repair costs closer to that 5,000 range. They are updating a couple things on the inside, but the cash flow on this thing is incredible. And the reason why it's so good, if you're able to put 30% down, these two houses are, sorry, each side is renting out for 1,500, and already has, one of them has a tenant in, and then I think the other one's month to month. So you could easily update that even more than 1,500, or just keep their fees, or sorry, keep their rents as is. I would personally recommend going higher, and we're seeing a 15% ROI on this thing, and projected by year 15 over 300K. You can kind of see here the description. It is a separate, there's 2 separate basement garage entrances, and yeah, very, very good income producing asset right here. So this one probably won't last too much longer, but awesome property, 4 beds, 2 baths, and around 1,700 square feet. So yeah, that's a property I would love to pitch to you guys. And that's pretty much it on our end. Thanks you guys for listening. Sherry, you want to hand it off to you?
I can
Dave,
pick up actually, Logan or Sherry, either one.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you got it, Chris.
go ahead, Chris, and then I'll wrap up for you.
Absolutely. I wanted to really just touch on our property management again. We can't say it enough how imperative it is for someone who doesn't live in the city where they own properties to have a reliable property management company. So that's where we really take pride in what we do as being in-house with our property management, with our maintenance. We are upfront with all of our fees. They're listed right on our website for each market that we work in. We don't have any hidden fees. We don't have junk fees that a lot of other companies do charge. So you can see right here for single family homes, it's an 8% across the board management fee right now. For single family, 7% for up to 4 units, and then it kind of goes down just depending on larger properties that you might have. So we really take pride, like I say, in not just selling you a home, but caring for that home as if we were the owners, just like you. All right, Sherry.
Thanks. Thank you, Chris. Hey, yeah, that was a lot of great information. You guys are fabulous at what you do. That's why I love working with you. But I did also want to touch on what you can expect from a consultation with an advisor. What really sets us apart? The first step is the consultation process. We want to get to know you. We want you to get to know us. We want to know where you're at in your life right now. What we would talk about if you tell me you're 23 versus 63, it's going to be a whole different conversation. So everything is geared towards you, what you need, where you're going, what your dreams and goals are for your investing portfolio. And we put all that into place, and then we determine and we introduce you to our team. We've got Chris, and we've got his team, we've got the Tennessee team. We have, if you say, hey, I want to also do a little bit of being the bank, I want to invest in mortgages, we can do that as well. But the consultation is key. It's what we, how we know where to put you and where to place you. We have so much under our umbrella that it takes a bit. Expect on your consultation call to spend about 45 minutes just for us to get to know you and get you set up and going in the right direction. So with all of us at Marshall Reddick, real estate is our passion. It's what we do. We have properties. We're investors in the fund. We're investors in private mortgages. So we all know anybody that you talk to is going to be very, very knowledgeable on real estate and real estate investing. And I also wanted to touch a little bit, I don't have a slide for it, I wanted to touch a little bit on our property rating ebook. On the next slide, I'm going to, you'll see my email address and my phone number. That's my direct line. Call me or email me and I will send you the property rating ebook. It's basically, it's our primer for all things Marshall Reddick and our philosophy. What you will learn, it's a downloaded book. It's great information. It's free. It takes about 20 to 30 minutes to read, but it will give you the foundation for all of our philosophies and how we work and how we determine what is the best course of action for us to recommend for you. So every time I set up a consultation, the first thing I do is I send the ebook out and I ask clients to do their homework a little bit. It'll really help out a lot. It's great information. And I just wanted to thank everybody for being on this call tonight. We all enjoyed ourselves. I think Logan and Chris are awesome. They did a fabulous presentation. The market in the Nashville area is growing. I would love to chat with each and every one of you individually about it. This is like I said, my direct line and my email address. Please feel free to reach out. Give me a call and we can chat some more on a one-on-one basis, or you can reach out to Chris and Logan as well. I can set you up with appointments with each and every one of them, and we can go from there. But you guys all have a wonderful evening, and thanks for spending some time with us.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Yeah, thank you guys. Looking forward to being a resource for you. Take care.
Good night, everybody.